Welcome back. This is a little quick additional video. I've just put a video up regarding a subscriber's question for the Maggio technique. And I was looking back for another video that I was actually going to recommend and I couldn't find it, and I thought I had recorded this like, well, a long time ago, essentially, in lockdown. In fact, one of the first videos. Turns out I didn't. So this is kind of basically it's called accessing the pedal registers. I was sure I did this. Anyway, it's not there. Now, one of the ways that I teach my students to access pedal registers is via note bending. So I'll try and put a link in the note bending for the note bending video in the comments for this video. And pretty much starting off with our lowest note, which is obviously our F sharp in trumpets. And that's how we access our pedal register from there. So if you've learned your descending F sharp arpeggio, and you've been working your note bending to help train your ears, okay, so let's go back up to our F sharp. F sharp, F, F, and then bend down to the F natural. That's what we're going to do at the bottom register. It should be easier down at the bottom register because the slots are so much bigger. We can lean into them a little bit more. Try not worry too much about hitting the note. It's not about having a perfect, almost like piano interval between the two notes. But what we're trying to do is learn to manipulate our embouchure, relax our embouchure, steer the air, use the tongue to steer the air. So all those components come into how we actually bend a note. The best way that I can describe a note bend is when we just relax. Okay, now you might have to explore this by relaxing your jaw and letting everything go a little bit floppy. So it sounds like this. We'll just stay on the F sharp for our reference. And then the note dies away and it stops because there's no any support there. So you have to learn to get that little kind of dip in the note happening. And once we can get the dip happening, that's you on the way. So back to accessing our pedal register. So we'll do the F sharp arpeggio. What we're going to do now is we are going to do the F major descending arpeggio, but we're going to finish on our F sharp. Just do that for now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to finish off by bending our F sharp down to our F, but stay in all three valves, okay? Whether you like it or not, that's you into the pedal register. That is a pedal F, okay? Now, you might say it's not a true pedal F because we're not going first valve down, but you'll learn the more you get into your pedal register that you can use almost any valve combination for your pedal registers. And there are many suggested ways to approach your pedal register, which I'll cover very, very quickly. So that we can start to think about using correct valves for our pedal register, the next thing we do when we get to our F sharp fingering for our pedal F, just lift valves 2 and 3 and see what happens. Now the note might want to jump up. It might want to jump up to a B flat because that's the next actual note that we've got that uses first valve as our B flat or E sharp if you're in the key signature. What we want to try and do is maintain that first valve as a bent, almost B flat, but actually as a pedal F, okay? And this is where pedal notes really, really help our ear training. So what I'll do is I might let the first valve jump up to somewhere near a B flat and then bring it back down. Ideally, we want to get to our pedal F as cleanly and quickly as possible once we're actually trying to play a pedal note and not a bent note. Okay, and that's it. So ultimately, we want to be able to do this. You know, and you can use a tuner to see how accurate you are, etc. Now, when we are actually accessing the pedal register like this, and we're not really treating it as a bent note, what we want to start really thinking about is having our open area here. So this is like, the best way I like to think about it is my tongue obviously is attached in my jaw. And it comes all the way down, and it comes into my throat. I like to think about the tongue that goes over this kind of part here. So it's kind of like the hinge part of your jaw, where it becomes your jaw and then turns, so it goes from your jaw and then into your neck and your kind of throat area. That whole area there, I suppose you've got a line in there from a beard, haven't you? So this area here is where I like to think about the tongue being really open and really open and forward. Sorry, in terms of forward, I mean trying to think about my neck forward and open. This is where words become confusing, and we want to try and think about feeling. This is why it's really, really hard to give any advice or even use a word like teach trumpet. So once we start getting that feeling and we can access our pedal register nice and freely, we should be able to articulate down there. And then once we can articulate and really and consistently get notes to happen, we can then start to descend down. And from there, really, if you can get your F to speak nice and clearly, it really is just a journey down. Now, I said you can use almost any fingerings. You can pretty much use any fingerings to play into your pedal register. If you have difficulties accessing your pedal register, continually using the correct fingerings, go back and use all three. Makes the slots in the trumpet really, really big down the bottom, brings them really close together up top. But down the bottom, it kind of makes everything nice and muddy if possible. So you can play all the way down. So let's do E flat, in fact, because it's a little bit further away. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to our F sharp. We're trying to think about our E flat pitch, and we're going to bend down from our F sharp down to an E flat, using all three vowels. Okay, so you can do it. You can do it in all three. And then the exact same process again. Lifting up the first valve and trying to jump into that E flat. Again, it might want to dive up or jump up rather to an A flat. That's the next closest natural note that has the 2 and 3 vowels down. And then try and bring it back down. Okay, so ultimately, find out where the note is. Use your ears. I like to think about, talking to a lot of my students about, our ears are actually connected to our embouchure. And the sound is connected to our ears because of our embouchure. So it's like you get these 3 points of trumpet playing that really, really help us access all the notes through our register. So again, when we get into our comfortable pedal register and our ears are linked through the sound to our embouchure, then we should be able to pitch these notes wherever they are. Okay, so the last part of this, which a lot of people find really, really tricky, is to get a really full, natural, open pedal C with no valves. But again, the best way to approach this that I've found in terms of helping my students or anyone who's asked for the advice on how to get a good full pedal C is to approach it the exact same way we did with the F and use all 3 valves. Wait a minute. So you can also, if you've already learnt your E, do your E on 1 and 2. Do your pedal E on 1 and 2, and then when you aim for the pedal C, go for all three and see what happens. Try and think about the pitch. Remember, take a lot of air. So you can get that to happen down there on all three. It's not a true pedal C, because pedal C is the natural fundamental of the trumpet. There's also another one, the double pedal C, the octave below. So we want to get down to our open pedal C. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Pedal C on all three, lift the valves. One or two things here can happen. I can want to jump back up towards where our natural bottom C is, just below the stave, or it might fall down to somewhere like a pedal B flat or an A is. And there we go. So that happens. What is that? Ba. It's kind of like a sharp A. And this is where our throat and being aware of our tongue and our jaw can really help to steer that note back in. Once you get the note to properly slot on the pedal C, then that is where a really, really good, for me, relaxed set pedal C Maggio embouchure starts to become developed. So how am I doing that? Well, for me, I'm using a little bit of tongue steerage at the back of my mouth in terms of shaping the open throat to actually get the air at the right speed. It's not always the same. That's the thing as well. I've not had a lot of practice over the past few days for various reasons, so I have to manipulate this a little bit more. But in terms of the embouchure set, that's my pedal C embouchure, and managing the air to the correct speed, etc. And our support, still a little bit of support down here in a pedal C, it helps to find that note. So is it a true pedal C because I've approached it from coming in to this bent F from an F sharp? I think it is. I think it really, really is, because when we get down to our pedal C after we've done C sharp to open and it falls down to the A, or a kind of B flat type thing, and you manipulate the embouchure just a little bit, you maybe have to caress the corners in a little bit or do something with your tongue to find the pitch of that pedal C. That pedal C then becomes the rest of the pedal range all the way up. All we've done is learn to find a way to bend into this lower pedal register to gain access to the pedal C. And then once we do have the pedal C, that can then start to knit its way all the way back up. So back onto my pedal C, and using this immediate pedal C embouchure to ascend back up. So pretty much once you get through to getting your pedal C locked in, you might have that access to that register already. You might find that you're doing the rest of the work in terms of tongue position and everything already. However, once you do get your pedal C, I believe there that the corners remain the same. Everything else might go through minor modifications. I've just did that video I was telling you about there about a subscriber's question. Check that out, it's pretty cool in terms of looking at my embouchure and what's going on. But once you gain the access to pedal C, then that lower part of the register is all about having the corners engaged here. So just to reiterate, bend down from your F sharp to the F, get that F happening on first valve, and then take it from there. You know, take it from there all the way down. It may be that your pedal C really only resonates on all three fingers from the F sharp fingering. And then as soon as you lift the valves, you fall down to that A or that B flat. That's okay, but don't stop doing that valve lift exercise, because if you're playing if you're playing pedal C on all three valves, that isn't a pedal C. That is still a bent note. The note bending is great in the pedal register or down the pedal register. It'll open your throat up. But that open throat will then allow you to access the pedal register. from our proper pedal C. Okay, that's all, folks. I'm going to leave it there. Please subscribe to the channel. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Get some comments going. Share this stuff. I love that subscribers are starting to ask me questions because it gets me thinking about it as well. Hit the like button, okay? That helps promote the videos and gets them shared around within the actual YouTube community. Sorry, within the actual YouTube channel. And other than that, practice, stay safe, and stay smart as always. And thanks for watching. Hopefully, get to see you all soon. Cheers. Bye bye.